Welcome to the Dungeon Crawlers Podcast, casting light onto the depths of online multiplayer gaming. And we are a little smelly because we're once again in this sewer.
I thought we were out of here permanently. Can you not bring us another room in the tavern?
No, because every time we're in the Mighty Beard Tavern, you spend all of our adventuring money. We're broke and now we gotta sleep in the sewers again.
Well, I'm sorry that there are no maids. I have to go behind the bar and serve myself, and one thing leads to another. All of a sudden, I've drank the entire barrel, and it costs money.
It does. It does
Hire
indeed.
some staff. They need to hire some staff. This self-serve stuff, it's bad, man. We get addicted. It's like gambling. All of a sudden, all my money's gone. It's like, no, get some staff.
I mean, I guess that's what happens when you're an independent studio who can't afford to, program NPCs into your tavern. But hey, we got a fun show.
We live in a virtual world.
Maybe.
What kind of Matrix stuff is this?
I don't know. Should have took the other pill. We've got a fun show planned for you guys. And, of course, I am joined by the one and only Stormslord. How are you, sir?
Oh, doing good.
And Mr. Crowjack.
I would like the record to show that I now own and possess the longest beard here. Shocking.
This is true
Shocking.
for about a week.
For about a week, and all of a sudden he's got like down to his ankles again. For Stormslord over here.
ZZ Top beard going on. In fact, I don't know. I think we should probably measure because my little Phoebus is pretty long over here. So you just have more covering your face. I think mine might be longer. Is yours longer than an inch?
I think so.
TMI.
It curls hardcore. It's like it's right up against my face.
Right. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, big show planned for you guys this evening. We've got some news coming out of Guild Wars 2, which is they're still alive, and it surprises me. Yeah, it does. Pirates of the Burning Sea refuses to go under. Kind of like when Crowjack threads the needle.
I haven't played that game in so long.
I'm telling you, that company out of China decides to add more and more MMOs to its roster.
Transformers. Yeah, we'll get there. You'll see.
Yeah,
how that works.
That's a teaser.
Optimus Prime creates a character in Dungeons and Dragons and dies permanently. I don't know.
Nice try.
What?
I tried. Didn't he die?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Many times.
Okay. All right. Well, then he's not going in Dungeons and Dragons. And No Man's Sky becomes an MMO? Maybe?
Kinda. It's a huge update from what I've been reading.
Yep.
Big one.
Indeed it is. So we got all that coming to you guys in just a few minutes. But first and foremost, I got to give an awesome shout out to two new patrons we got this month, Michael D and Dr. Whodat219. I like
Dr. Whodat.
Nah, you gotta know which the favorite doctor is. You gotta ask that question. You gotta ask. I know you don't want to, but you do.
I really don't want to ask that.
I didn't even make the Doctor Who connection.
And the answer better be Matt Smith, or we'll have words.
I love Matt Smith.
Okay.
Oh my god. Though Capaldi kind of won me over with his guitar on a tank scene.
It took a while for me and for him.
Same here.
But I
warmed
like
up to
Matt
him.
Smith.
Matt Smith's awesome.
First
The crazy
up,
cat on two legs. That's Matt Smith.
Yes.
First up.
Side note.
Johan, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the Shield Wall. Dr. Whodat's also a pretty cool streamer. I love her. She's great. She interacts with our community a lot. Number 2 or 3, I can count. Math's hard. 3, I have never once watched an episode of Doctor Who.
That's
I
cool.
know, because if you did, you'd love it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
I feel you're missing out. You're missing
Start with
something.
David Tennant, though.
No, he has to start with 9. He has to start with
Oh,
Leather
no,
Jacket.
don't
You
start
have
with
to get
Chris Eccleston.
Rose,
Come
and
on.
Rose is relevant through 9 and 10, and it bleeds into 11.
Yeah,
like
but you can
need
back
to.
up to 9. You gotta see 10.
Nine's-
The 10 is where get you going, which you
Yeah.
that's so cool, you know.
Yeah, 10 is the juice, but you need 9 because you need Rose's backstory to get to 10
Well,
and
that's why I
Rose.
wanted to go back and watch 9 because I saw 10.
Yeah.
And, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah,
And then I backed up to 9.
yeah.
Well, I
There you
hope,
go.
I hope
7,
you
8,
enjoyed
9,
this
right?
episode of the Phantom TARDIS box.
Welcome
but
to the Doctor Who podcast brought to you by Stormslord
the
and Mr.
Phantom
Crowjack.
TARDIS.
There you go.
That's what it's called. Like the Phantom Toll Booth, but no, all right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You can have that. I don't know. It's probably already used, to be honest. But
Probably 100%.
yeah. Anyway, maybe we'll have to do an episode where I actually watch Doctor Who and then come back.
You would.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you'll watch one episode, have no clue what's going on, no clue who the characters are, and that show is a bad job of explaining backstory.
Isn't
They're just like, you know what, we're going this way, and
It hooks you in, and then you got to figure out the backstory.
then you gotta figure it out.
the most exposure to this show I've ever gotten is when my other co-host Arkanir goes robotic and everyone assumes he's a Dalek or whatever they're called. Yeah.
Could have been a Cyberman.
I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and just jump right on into the news. Actually, no, we're not going to jump into the news first. I don't even read my own notes.
Well done. This
know.
is not next week's podcast.
Yeah, I'm definitely not reading notes for next week's podcast. What have we been playing this week? Let's go ahead and start with Storms.
Well, I've been doing a mix. One, a non-MMO. I'm trying to test my, BRs. I've been doing that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent 6 hours. I now have a template, total blueprint build in Unreal Engine, running BR, up to 4 people, maps all done, weapons all done, zones all done. I just have to get how to figure out how to put it on a host so you can play it over the internet.
Interesting.
Right, and I've played it with my son. It's all templates, very little code.
Mm-hmm.
4-man BR.
Well, you can do 100, but I made a small map out of that we could demonstrate with this little map, right?
Yeah.
But you can do 4, 50, or 100, depending what map you choose.
Oh, no, I was going to make a joke about like the first few tests of the Ashes of Creation BR.
Well, might have worked with 4.
I wouldn't hate a small player BR, a 20-man
But it's
BR. You'd have a smaller map. The rounds would be 5-10 minutes.
Able to do it. The idea was, can I do it? Very little code. So far, I've changed one if statement.
Wow.
Now I have to put some code in to put it up on Amazon services, but
You're going to
pretty
use
good.
AWS to do that?
Most likely, it's a choice between AWS and something iStart or something. Another one you could do. I want to balance out which one I want to do and put them up there.
Cool. All right.
I got to beat by the 20th now. They moved it up. They moved my date. Went from the 25th to the 20th.
Wait. What date you're trying to get this?
APOC's date was the 25th of August. So
Now
by
it's
the
the
25th, I could get. Now it's the 20th. So I'm like, I could get it up by the 25th. And I'm like, well, okay, by the 20th now.
It moved?
I thought it did. Maybe it was just me dreaming. I don't know.
Are you sure you're not thinking about WoW Classic? Because that was like the 27th. I don't know.
I'll double check.
Okay.
Either way, in my brain, it moved. So now I'm going to get it done by the 20th. So I got to figure out how to do AWS Game Lift real quick and get that up there so we can look at it.
Okay, cool. What else are you doing?
Alice is getting old a little bit. They've got a new map they put out, single server map called Blackwood. Goofing with that.
I hear Pirates of the
Looking at
Burning
No Man's
Sea's
Sky.
good.
I've heard that. And then Star Trek Online. Haven't had a whole lot of time doing some other stuff.
I was just listening to something on Star Trek Online, and they actually made a pretty funny comment, was that this is like the only MMO that they could think of that has like a really popular IP where they went to such great lengths to find the old voice actors to bring in.
Oh yeah, they did. When they did the old look back at the old crew, they brought as many as they could. And like with Discovery, they used the Discovery actors. With DS9, same thing. They brought in all the DS9 actors they could get.
Cool.
Very interesting. They started out as a ship only MMO, which seemed weird, but they added the landing parties later. But it's really interesting. I really like it. It just doesn't give me the build feel that I get with other games, where I can build my own base.
Are you a fan of the base building?
I didn't think I was, but I am, because I get to put my own feel into it. I like the instances in ESO and the ships in Star Trek Online, and you buy it, and everybody else has got the same one.
Mm.
Invisible cup.
I know. Chat's going on about my magical cloak glass right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the light only hits it at such an angle, so only part of it's invisible at any given time.
It's a blue cup with a green background, so it's close, but not
So
quite.
get a real green cup, then you'll never see it.
Yeah. It's kind of like the one Tails show where I took my old because before I got this awesome green screen, I had the one that's just a green essentially blanket.
Yeah.
I wrapped that around me, so I was just a floating head on Tails. It was pretty fun.
There you go.
Not bad.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Cool. All right.
Cool. All right.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I've been doing actually a lot of wood turning this week, so I've been busy doing that using my new bandsaw.
Oh, that's always fun. That is
Oh,
always
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Crowjack, what about you? What have you been doing this week?
I am now a level 37 vice president in Hello Kitty Island Adventures, the MMO. I'm proud to say. I made all that up. I have not been playing BDO as BDO plays BDO as it does, because I am all in on doing other stuff, working my butt off, doing work-related things and YouTube-related things and Twitch-related things. So I'm AFK fishing while I'm AFK farming in BDO for the next 3 weeks. As we wait for APOC, I will jump into the Battle Royale and test it and taste it. Do not know how much I'll play it. Have to wait and see. If it's fun, if it's interesting, maybe, but I'm not too sure. But I'm mostly waiting for WoW Classic to scratch my MMO itch, I think. Now, how much time will I have to put into it? I don't know. The beautiful thing about BDO is I can actually progress in BDO while I'm AFK, which is nice. But I miss WoW Classic. I miss the actually doing things to earn things. Feels good. As for, though I do agree with Stormzord, the joy of building, I've been removed from that genre for some time now, and I do kind of miss a little bit of the base building and base designing. What I don't miss is the farming and the chopping down trees and the whacking rocks for ore and then managing your food and water and all that jazz. I don't like that about gaming, but I do enjoy some creativity in base building sometimes.
Well, I don't manage the food and water. I just die. I plan it. All right, next one. Right, there you go.
So Ashes of Creation might have a little bit of that with the little housing thing going on. And I personally don't necessarily have to go out and chop the wood. I can go and buy the wood, right? Or I can process it and someone else can chop it. So I can dodge the whole gathering bit if I want to. I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, MMO space, it's okay. Playing a little Apex Legends, playing a little Overwatch. Actually, I almost missed this podcast as I was playing Overwatch with a couple of my YouTube buddies. All of a sudden, I see these notifications. I'm like, what are these notifications for? Oh, wait, it's a Thursday. I'm supposed to be podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Never
happened
before.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
It's happened once or twice, or
Once. One time. Everyone gets one.
everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one.
Everyone
What about
gets
you,
one.
Alpha? Alpha.
There could
And
be only
Jellos?
one.
Well, I think Alpha's in Jamaica at the moment, so he gets
Yeah, he told
vacation.
that ahead of time. That doesn't count.
I wonder where he is. I wonder if he's on the North Bay. I got married there, right? I spent a week there. It was beautiful. So I wonder where he's at.
Too hot for me. I couldn't do
it's
it.
so amazing. Yeah, you have to experience everything in life once. You know what I mean? Generally, try stuff, experience it, give it a shot. You'd be surprised how beautiful it is and how not hot it is, because it is such a small island and the breeze coming off the ocean every day, all day is fantastic. And you watch like storms roll in and they're there for 10 minutes and then they're gone. Like, it's the craziest thing. It's wonderful. You should try it. It's not that hot.
I might have to. Anyway, Kadron is back with the 7-month in a row sub. Thank you so much, Kadron. Welcome to the Shield Wall. You are great. Okay, so like Crowjack, I've been doing BDO.
No,
and by doing
praise.
BDO, I mean I moved myself there. I check my inventory to make sure that I'm getting all the fish. We declared war on a guild because they killed some of us, so that's been fun.
Yeah. That's actually, chat's talking about BDO in a very nice way. It's great for adults because while you're working, spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, you can be progressing. And then when you have time, you can sit down and actually progress better, progress faster, grind, gain more gold faster, etc. Perfect for adults.
I haven't been able to launch on to AFK yet. I've tried it. I just keep forgetting to do it. Right. So it's like, it's not used to let's do that. So it's an interesting concept. Though I do like the fact you can like tell the horse where to go and then just go and then step away, right?
Give me that
I
now.
like that.
Give me that 5-minute break to go to the washroom while my horse is taking me to town. Please. It's such a nice little thing.
People in our guild were thinking I was insane the other day because my family's away till Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I've had all this time to play games, so I've just been going nuts with it. And also, Rock My Burst, 4 months up. Thank you so much, buddy. So I've had BDO up on one screen and World of Warcraft up on the other screen. And I'm like, okay, so I'm doing questing in World of Warcraft, and then I auto-path to where I need to quest in BDO. When I get there, I'll do the BDO quest, auto-path to the next thing, go back to WoW.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Efficiency.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. And it is nice when I can do those two different things at one shot. I've been working in BDO making merchant wagons to sell. So many merchant wagons.
What's the profit like on that?
If you use your workers to gather it, it's pretty high.
Interesting.
Each merchant wagon sells for about 3 million silver. Okay. It takes one wagon horse, which you have to buy, but I think I bought 200 of them for, I forget how much it was. They were like 15k silver a piece. You need tin and you need copper because you need to make brass ingots, and you need acacia wood, and you need pelts. I've spent about altogether 300,000 silver just buying like the pelts because I'm
going out and getting those by hand be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, but my workers got all the acacia wood because it's all around Altanova, and tin, and then my guy in Heidel had all the copper, so I just shipped it over. I spent a day AFK processing it, so now I have like 2,000 ingots, 2,000 planks, or plywood, and I 500 of the pelts, and I bought 200 horses. Again, 300,000. I already have 6 of them made, so I'm at like 12 million silver, and I spent 300,000. So the profit margin's not bad. And it's an AFK thing where you send your workers in there to do it. I log in, queue up my goblin workers in the workshop, and say, I select the merchant wagon. I go assign all the workers to a specific task and just say, make it till it's done. Hop back in. When they're done, there's the wagon. Sign them a next one and just keep going.
Interesting.
So, it's fairly nice passive money. And it doesn't cost a whole lot as long as you're not buying everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you buy, you're therefore losing a little bit. Making tools is more profitable, says chat. It probably is. It probably is at this point. But I've been having pretty good success, and it's already just all there. So, and I've been playing lots of World of Warcraft because after last episode,
you really wanted to play.
I just re-triggered you.
I did. And I was actually talking. We actually got a new guild member, and I was doing an interview with them today, and we were talking about World of Warcraft just offhand.
I didn't get an interview.
Yeah, but I knew you.
I did not get the privilege of an interview. My God, I feel gypped. I would have aced that interview. I would have nailed it.
Do you really want to just sit in a call with me and talk for 30?
Let's do it right now.
We're doing that right now.
Anyway.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. No. That's good, whatever I'm drinking.
Whatever you're drinking.
Yeah. So we were talking about World of Warcraft, and I'm playing retail right now. I actually got our old guild back, the one that actually started Hands of Fate. It's the one we made back in 2011. WoW does a weird thing where if a guild member or a guild officer hasn't signed on after a period of time, the next highest person can take over the guild. Well, we weren't actively playing. I think I was playing on my Alliance character. I jumped over into a different guild to raid because after we had some guild drama with our old raid team back in Legion, we didn't have a bunch of raiders. I felt like raiding. We had members who didn't really want to raid anymore. So I went to a different group and was raiding with them. So I left my alt in charge. And we actually had an old guild member who actually took over the guild because he didn't realize those were my alts. So therefore he went through, he kicked everyone, but I got a hold of him and he gave it back. He was really great about that. So I appreciate that.
Cool.
So we got that back and I've been playing, Buffa, our Battle for Azeroth, for those who don't say Buffa.
Yep.
I've been having a lot of fun with Battle for Azeroth, but there's something missing, and it's the fact that we have all of our guild who's ready for Classic. They're not interested in retail. There's a lot of good things that happened in retail that I'm going to miss when we go to Classic. But what I'm missing right now more than anything is the fact that while the game is quote-unquote better now, it feels very lonely.
Yep.
And I think that's what I'm missing. Like, even just doing dungeons. Yeah, I can queue up on the Dungeon Finder and whatever, but it's still not as fun as running with guildies. So,
no.
Yeah.
BDO has that issue. We've talked about that at length.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And yet BDO is different. I think if BDO had PvE like what WoW does and it's PvP, oh my goodness, it would be amazing. I mean, more so than it already is, but
yeah, it's the combination of both that helps keep some games up.
Right.
You can bounce back and forth.
And BDO, as we've seen, is making steps towards more PvE related stuff, but it's a slow go for them. And then you have World of Warcraft on the other hand, which is so segregated, PvP is relegated to pretty much battlegrounds. Now, there is a lot of open world PvP. I've killed my fair share of Alliance players since stepping into Buffa, just because everyone has... I'm on a normal server, but they actually actively encourage you to flag up because you get like 10% better rewards. So everyone is flagged. You don't have to flag, but you get like 10% less from World Quest and stuff.
So chat's talking about leveling in BFA with war mode turned on, which is that flagging feature you mentioned, which reminds me of leveling back in the day one of Wrath on Illidan, a PvP server. I made 10,000 honor points leveling from 70 to 80 in the first week of Wrath. I killed everything in sight that was red because I was a rogue, right? So it's just like it was a hunting ground. It was glorious. And I'm looking forward to that in Classic.
Right. But yes, those in chat, we are making a Classic guild. So check out our Discord if you're interested in all of that.
It's a dictatorship. It's a sweet old dictatorship. And guess who's the lead dictator? Don't listen to Magellas, okay? I'm the puppet master here. This is the truth. We all know it. I'm the puppet master.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So that's really what I've been doing. I've got that itch from last week where I had to sign in. I signed in. I'm running around. I'm having a good time. I wish the retail guild people were still interested in actually playing it because I'm having fun with it, but
a lot of burnt out people.
It's understandable. I mean, I've had this love affair with WoW and this disconnect at the same time ever since the end of Pandaria. Pandaria really kind of made me fall out of love, and I've never really gotten that spark back again. And one of the funny comments I actually saw earlier, which made me laugh, was everyone hated Cataclysm, right? Like, that was pretty much what everyone hated. One of the funny comments I saw on actually the Cataclysm launch trailer was, after a world of having survived through Pandaria and Draenor, Cataclysm wasn't all that bad.
No, because again, it followed Wrath, which was its pinnacle. It was World of Warcraft's pinnacle from a subscription base, from a storyline. The Lich King was like the bad guy. Like, it was so sweet. And then Cata came along. And it was fine.
Deathwing was pretty epic.
It was. And just seeing your original world change so much was really, really cool. That's what Fortnite gets to experience every season, every couple of weeks, this constant changing of their map. Seeing Azeroth, like, they flooded Thousand Needles. You know what I mean? Like, it was such cool changes. So I love Kata. But people see Wrath and they hold it as the pinnacle of what world was. And nothing compares.
It is. It's true. And I think early on, which actually says more about the player base than anything, the dungeons were hard. Even the normal dungeons, they tried to step it up back to the way it was in BC. Because remember, vanilla and BC, the dungeons were difficult. WoW Wrath made at least the 5-man dungeons more spammable.
Yep.
And then they went, oh, well, we don't want to see that. We want to go back to the way it was in BC. Let's tune them. That lasted maybe a month before people were up in arms going, what? You mean we can't spin to win all the trash mobs again?
Yeah, just AoE them all down.
Well, they tried to make CC matter again. And that just didn't work with people.
No.
So then they reverted those changes, and now we're where we are. So anyway, this is not a WoW podcast, but that was a fun discussion.
No, it's not.
We have topics to discuss.
We do. Let's go ahead and move into the news. First up, this one is the reason why I brought this up. Guild Wars 2 is doing a real-life world event in Seattle at the, where is it? Oh, I just looked. The Moore Theater in Seattle on August 30th, which is at the end of this month. I've had concerns for Guild Wars 2. Earlier in the year, NCSoft laid off, how many people was it? Does anyone remember? It was
a boatload.
Yeah. I'm actually just looking it up right now. NCSoft, I guess Kotaku first started reporting it, that ArenaNet had big layoffs coming. They've actually, since NCSoft confirmed this, and let's see, they said out of the 400 odd people working at ArenaNet, it was roughly about 400 people that are working there, and now they're down to, and I'm trying to find it. I looked at it earlier, and now I can't find it anymore. But it was like a third of the people. It was a huge...
That's huge.
Huge amount of people. Might even been more than that. And ArenaNet, just previous to that, had that little snafu with Jessica Pierce and one other person who was fired because... Does anyone remember the Jessica Pierce incident? She was a narrative designer and a fairly liberal, left-wing feminist. Nothing wrong with that by itself. Let's just put that out there, but I'm just trying to put you in the mindset of what happened. And what actually really sucks about this is a male streamer who actually adored this woman asked her a question and disagreed with her going about narrative design, and she went off on him.
So she took it personal as opposed to like focusing on the game.
As she so elegantly put it, she didn't need someone to mansplain to her how to tell a story. And what's so fun, what's so funny about it is he wasn't. I get female game devs take a lot of crap. They do. Yeah, they really do.
They do.
And a lot of times that sentiment probably was correct. But he actually was one of the most polite guys. And what's really funny is after they did this, someone went back through his streams and took a clip and posted it to her of him essentially worshiping her, going how amazing she was and how good of a storyteller she was, taken from like 5 days before this incident. So she attacked this guy who had a legit question, disagreed with her answer, and very politely said, I disagree. This is how it is. And she took it completely off the wall. And she actually...
So let's say she was like building up this stress from people who were being that mean to her, but she chose the wrong target to go...
The thing is, it's the perception of the person being harassed, not... the person who's doing whatever they're doing, right? And that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, we don't know what her personal life was. Maybe she had, I don't know, something that just triggered her at that point. But this started the downfall. Her and another very high-end guy were both let go, like, immediately. There's like, no, we can't have that. And then right afterwards, well, I should say a few weeks later, they let go, and NCSoft went and said, nope, we're cutting a ton of people. Jeez. So, does anyone remember City of Heroes?
Yes, I remember there was a bunch of hype around that when it came out.
I'm not a superhero fan. I've never watched a single Marvel movie.
You're missing out on some really good stories.
Dude.
Just good stories. You're missing out on good storytelling.
Culture.
Yeah.
You're missing like American and English.
I know, but I don't. The superhero thing is not my thing. Like,
with all these nerd verticals being butchered, like Game of Thrones ending wasn't so good, and Star Trek, and there's some bitches there with a recent TV show, and Star Wars, people were complaining about its recent movies. This nerd vertical has satisfied its fans the entire freaking time, and you're missing out on that.
He's like, so.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for another season of Vikings.
Started back with the Incredible Hulk, so you gotta back it up.
Oh man, I watched Iron Man 1 the other day. I love that movie.
That's good.
The Last Kingdom is really great. If anyone's anyway, all right. So back to Guild Wars 2. With them losing such a huge amount of people, they're already slow at giving out a bunch of information about Guild Wars 2. Content's really slow. I mean, even their quote-unquote living world, which was an amazing, absolutely amazing thing, if you remember Season 1. Does anyone remember Season 1? No?
Nope.
Season 1, they told a PvE narrative that physically changed the entire world. Like, literally, they sunk Lion's Arch, they rose a whole new island, and if you weren't there, you missed it.
Yep.
Very similar to what Ashes wants to try to accomplish, by the way.
Which I'm fine with.
Yes, so am I. Some people didn't like that because I wasn't there. I didn't get to see all this. Well, yeah, it was a way of making sure you wanted to keep playing.
The biggest game on the planet right now does that all the time, and its fan base adores it. Fortnite. Their in-game events, giant robot versus giant alien. It happened at this time on this day, and if you're in a game, you watched it. If you weren't, you missed it. You got to watch it on YouTube. They do that all the time.
Yeah.
Those events that you remember, those moments, those memories, they're really cool.
I even like the when World of Warcraft does their pre-launch events, like before Legion, the demon invasions. Yeah,
making memories.
Yeah, it's something cool. Well, Season 2, they made it a complete PvE narrative where nothing really changes at all, and it's like an instant storytelling. So it's not really living world at that point.
No.
Well, anyway, they started releasing expansions with Heart of Thorns and then Path of Fire. I actually loved both of those. I'm scared that ArenaNet is not long for the world.
No.
I really don't. I don't think they are. And NCSoft has been known to axe games that are not overly productive. Looking at you, City of Heroes.
First and foremost, they're a business.
Yeah, but those games weren't even in the black. Like that's the sad part about City of Heroes. It was making money, just not as much as they thought it should be. So they axed it.
Did they feel that those resources could have been better spent making a new game that could have brought more profit?
Oh, I'm sure they did. But how long? If you've ever looked at year over year for some fun, look at the year over year financials, or quarter over quarter financials for Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, it's a matter of time.
Yeah. Every once in a while when they do a big expansion or something, and then it goes right back down again.
Guild Wars 2 never really competed in the MMO scape. Even in its prime, it never really competed. Like, there's a bunch of other MMOs that were always better. I mean, World of Warcraft, obviously, but like ESO when it came out was really big, and it's just even the Star Wars: The Old Republic when it came out was quite big. BDO has a nice corner of the market right now, right? Guild Wars 2 has never really competed.
BDO has a corner of the market that no other Korean game has ever held. Korean games don't do well over here. Maybe Lineage 2 did for a little while, but they just don't do well. BDO, for some odd reason, has grabbed hold of the Western audience and has kept it for longer than any of the other ones did.
Some people explain to me like this, and it makes a lot of sense. In terms of when you're burnt out of WoW and you look at the MMO landscape after that, BDO is a pretty interesting choice. It's got a really cool combat system. It looks visually stunning. It's meant more for an Apple crowd because of the amount of time, blah, 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 blah. So there's not a whole lot of other options in the WoW, in the MMO space that these WoW burnouts can turn to. Maybe they've dabbled in ESO. Maybe they've dabbled in SWTOR if they're big into Star Wars or Star Trek Online if they're into that. But BDO seems to be a pretty good option for a lot of these PvP hungry older adults that played a lot of WoW growing up.
Right. Yeah. No. So, and yeah, and like I said, Final Fantasy XIV's doing really well right now. Really well. WoW actually has picked up quite a bit. Like, Blizzard's financials are down, and yet WoW has a big resurgence again. WoW Classic, which we'll get to.
People are getting hyped into it, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, WoW's financials are actually really high right now because of Classic.
Well, Diablo took a smack in the face. StarCraft is on life support. Hearthstone is kind of puttering sideways right now. Looking at their IPs, right?
Overwatch isn't doing too bad, but you also got to remember they've let go of a lot of their top staff now. And there's even rumors, and the reason why I haven't put it in the news is because it's a rumor that their stock is dropping and they're getting close to possibly a hostile takeover.
Huh?
Yeah, Blizzard Entertainment is close. There's rumors that there's a hostile takeover.
Interesting.
Very close. Very, very close. Even more off the wall rumors is that it's Disney. Well,
can they just buy everything already? Like, yo, go find the Tolkien people and buy the Lord of the Rings. Just do it, Disney. Just buy a Lord of the Rings and reboot the franchise. Go for it. You've got the money.
Honestly,
go get Star Trek while you're at it too.
If Disney bought Blizzard, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Disney has a mentality of, we're buying you because we like what you do. So we're just going to give you crap tons of money to continue doing it.
Yeah. You're right. Disney's like, you're doing your thing. Here's the money. Hands off. Go.
That's why they bought Pixar. They loved what Pixar was doing, but they didn't touch them.
Yeah.
They're just like, listen, you did amazing shows when you were by yourself.
Yeah.
So here's
a bigger budget.
Here's a huge budget, and just keep doing what you're doing now, just with our backing.
When they bought Star Wars and when they bought Marvel, people were joking that we're going to see Mickey Mouse with a lightsaber. But that never happened, did it? No, it didn't happen.
They know as much as some people either love or hate Disney, Disney knows what it's doing.
Yep.
It doesn't buy crap companies. It buys companies who are doing what they think is, hey, this is awesome.
Eventually, though, they're going to get broken up.
Do you think there's a point of just too much mass and they need to just...
They're bringing out a streaming service this fall, later this
very excited about it,
whichever, right?
Yep.
All of the fathers with young kids were like, yeah, we're signed up already.
Well, yeah, we're signed. I got no issue with the sign up, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, now you have the reason they had TV networks in the past when ABC, NBC, CBS, is you had the content creator separated from the content distributor.
Yep.
Right. Now you're going to end up with the one company owning the entire chain. Right?
Yes, they're the creator and the supplier of the content now.
Look at Comcast, right? Which NBC, same situation. You're gonna have like a Standard Oil in the past. They're gonna break them up. It's gonna take time.
Who's gonna break them up? Who's going
Oh,
to
the
bring?
government will.
No.
And besides,
Disney will buy the government.
It'll happen. It's just a question of when.
NBC, CBS, and all them are in trouble because YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook have become the NBC, CBS, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Over a modern
Right.
world.
Mm-hmm. It's when you have the one vertical that's
Yep.
owned by one company and they mandate things. That's when the government starts to go, hey, wait a second. That hurts. Now, the issue we have is in the 80s, they changed the way you looked at monopolies, but that's a different story.
I was going to say, the way Disney does stuff, though, yes, it's one big company who runs it, but they're so hands-off with their guys. They're just like, we're just literally funneling
When it comes
money
to the content creation and content distribution, they're only doing it with their own IPs. It's not like they're going into other IPs and saying, come to our platform and monopolizing the streaming platform.
Until it can be shown that a company is hurting a consumer, the government is not going to go after them.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a ruling in the 80s, right? So that's what's got to happen before they're going to do it. But eventually they will.
Who's going to say Disney hurt me? Like, no one.
Well,
that's the power of their branding.
Look at Disney's his granddaughter came against Disney for their wages, right? They were paying less than the wages they thought they should have. So she is going after Disney themselves. It's totally off topic, but okay.
We've gone on such a segue.
We're gonna very quickly go through some of this other news because somehow Disney became a news topic for us. But hey, whatever.
Hey, this is a great podcast. We're having a great time. That's what matters.
All of it going back to Guild Wars 2's in trouble. Maybe.
Yeah. They're done. Like but how many? We could probably make a bet right now between us and like say how many years is it going to go down? Like it's going down. That ship's sinking.
Yeah. Speaking of ships sinking, way to go! I like that. Pirates of the Burning Sea.
I set you up. Look at that.
I did. See, give and take right there. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Last year, Pirates of the Burning Sea. All right, you may not have ever heard of this MMORPG before.
Nope.
But I feel like at this point, maybe you should. Essentially, Pirates of the Burning Sea last year lost its publisher. They're like, yep, we lost its publisher and its primary coder. Like, literally, it was left.
They're done.
They're done.
They should have been.
We're out.
They are done. They were on the very brink of sunset. And the company that owns them, I guess it's called Portalis, actually gave the game up saying, listen, if someone doesn't take this, we're going to sunset. We have no programmer. We have no publisher giving us money. We're done. And they actually gave the game to a player-led nonprofit corporation who took over this title. What's so cool is now there's I guess they have a new name called Vision Online Games. Actually hired a bunch of new executive development teams.
They're hiring,
hiring,
crazy.
Replacing servers, modernizing the game infrastructure. Like, what?
Yeah, they were literally, the sun was about to set, and somebody grabbed the sun and yoinked it out of the sky and put it back up there. Like, we're not dead yet. Some behemoth, which is this company, is like, nope, not done yet.
This is... I'm torn. We've heard... Yes, it's insanely rare. Very few MMOs come that close to sunset. One, stop being sunset. The only one I can ever think of is Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, but that's like...
And the only
how
reason...
close were they, though?
Very close. The only reason why it was saved was because it was a brand that was a pillar of their company.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
And they've always said they would never let a numbered Final Fantasy game be unplayable on any platform. That's why Final Fantasy 11 is still going. You'll probably, if they ever come out with another Final Fantasy MMORPG, it will not be in a numbered series. So they could safely shut it down if they need to.
They should shut down 11.
They've practically made it so that it's playable solo now with their trust system, I think it's called. But a lot of these games, it's nice to see when publishers say, listen, you can have this.
Yep.
We've seen a resurgence in these rogue servers with City of Heroes. Like, somebody, that story was an interesting one. Essentially, someone at the company leaked all of the code and the databases for all the characters before the company went under. Someone who worked there took the entire source code and the database of the characters and gave it to someone in the community.
Yep.
Totally
So
illegal,
that they
by
can
the
make
way.
private servers off it. Wow.
Yeah. And for like 10 years, they hid this server because technically it's wicked illegal. But only it was like private invite only. Like, you would get a random message on the City of Heroes Reddit going, hey, have you ever played City of Heroes? You know, like, only if you were a prominent member and you got invited to the super secret club.
It was the who's who club of City of Heroes players.
I wasn't in it.
No. But a bunch of people who were big in the community had this private server that they told no one about. It was insane. Well, one of the guys who got invited decided he was going to leak all of it, going, listen, all of you guys on this Reddit who are still here after like 15 years of this game being shut down. By the way, these guys have a full working server with your characters. Oh, the drama that appeared on Reddit after that. Oh, it was, people were lighting torches. It was amazing. But I'd like to see when these companies go, here's the game, do something with it because we can no longer do it.
Yeah.
I think it might be different when a company has no other titles and is going bankrupt, whereas a publisher doesn't want to ever let go of an IP.
Yep.
So anyway, if you haven't checked that out yet, Pirates of the Burning Sea, it might be worth checking out. All right. Next bit of news. That company, Leyou Studios, or something, Leyou, it's a Chinese holding company. We talked about them last episode because they were working on a new Lord of the Rings. I shouldn't say Lord of the Rings because it's probably not Lord of the Rings style, but we'll say Middle-earth, Tolkien estate MMO in concert with Amazon. Turns out these guys announced at, I guess it was China Joy, which is like a Chinese
Convention.
Gaming convention. Their plans to actually add 2 more games, MMORPGs, to their roster. Civilization Online and Transformers Online.
I don't know. Like, Transformers and MMO, that is a tough IP to take a Transformer, put it into every player's hands in an
How
MMO.
are you going to craft?
Yeah.
Car
Are you gonna
parts?
transform, or are you going to build the Transformer? Or birth the Transformer?
Can you, like...
Or tame the Transformer?
Oh my god, I want
You
Transformer
gotta-
breeding.
You got to breed the
I want to get
Transformer.
mommy Transformer and daddy Transformer and make baby Transformers that are better than the parents. And then take those ones and make new
that's an
babies and make
MMO.
super powerful Transformer babies.
See,
There you go.
I don't know. I think Transformers could be, you want to talk about cash shop heaven.
Ooh, because you could do cosmetics, you
Cosmetic
could change out
cars.
parts,
Yeah.
new guns, new boosters, better legs. But then again, then you're getting to like mech warrior level, like individual customization kind of thing, which is fun. But in an MMO, it could work. But again,
Well, cash out, they'd sell it right away.
in regular MMOs, you change out your armor, you change out your rings, your necklaces, your weapons, you change out your quote unquote parts to your characters. So in a Transformer world, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It could work. Just is there enough
could work.
interest in that IP? Right?
Who owns that IP?
Hasbro.
Oh, Hasbro?
Is Hasbro a
Hasbro.
Chinese
Yeah.
company?
No.
I'm
Wait.
curious.
No.
Question mark. I can't give you 100% on that.
Well, the
No.
reason why I say this is how did Leyou get hold of that IP? I mean, they're
How
in
do you license it to them?
it could
Could be a partnership. Same thing with the Middle Earth stuff, right? Partnership.
a bunch of money. And
No, it's an American company, worldwide, but American company.
okay, Civilization Online as well. Now there was already a Civilization Online, if I remember correctly.
Well, there's the Civilization game series, which is like a long grinding, like you sit down
How's
with
it
your
gonna be
buddies.
an
all day
MMO
forever.
though?
Yeah, if they're doing that, it's weird.
Because I don't
Instead
think
of
it's
directing the little guys, you are the little guys, right?
yeah.
You
Maybe.
get directed by some over guy that tell you got to do this, and so you run and do that.
Much like MMO has expansions and they progress through their quote unquote story. You progress through Civilization, and vanilla would be like really way back in time, and then the next expansion they move the time forward a bit and they go through the Romans and they go through medieval. Do they do that with it? I'm just basing off the name. Is that how they're planning on doing their progression? I don't know.
For fun and homework for the next episode,
Oh God.
go look at Death of a Game Civilization Online.
Oh, I've seen the Death of the Game series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did a Death of the Game, one of my favorite games, Global Agenda. It was a really cool like MMO FPS with like TF2 kind of stuff going on. I remember playing that. I was really enjoying it. And I watched the Death of the Game video on it. I was like almost crying. I was like, I remember that game. That was fun.
Yeah, no. I don't know. That's what they're planning on doing. I don't really know. I'm thinking because Leyou's just a holding company. They're not holding company. They're investment company. They're going to be working with somebody else. So while they want to add these other games, they don't have developers. They're just.
So yeah, there's a question: who's developing the Transformers game and the stuff like that?
Originally, the Lord of the Rings one was a new company called Anton Online or something like that. Anyway, and I guess that partnership they went, you know what? Instead of having our own developers and making our own spin-off, why don't we just give money to Amazon, which is far better.
Yep.
So I'd be curious to see what these two. So keep an eye out on that. And if that's the case, maybe we're going to start seeing the rise of another mega MMORPG publisher. The last one I can think of, Nexon, NCSoft, which are all Chinese or Korean companies. And now with this Leyou on there as well. And then Tryon at one point in time before they got bought out. Tryon was trying to... They brought Rift, and then they went, hey, why don't we just have a whole plethora of MMOs? They had Rift. They had Defiance. They had Trove. They had all those different games. Yeah.
Yeah. Quality over quantity.
Right. Dungeons and Dragons is back on the... Well, I guess they're alive still.
They're alive. They're still quiggling.
Well, this is all right. First up, they're getting a new class called the Alchemist, which is pretty cool. You get to throw stuff all around, exploding potions. Nice. They're also adding a hardcore permadeath server, so League server. We'll get back to that. DDO is one of those games where I don't think it will. They have such a devout player base.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Hardcore.
I see our chat, DDO is just meh. I don't like the current publisher. Standing Stone Games, I guess, I don't know. Turbine gave up on it, went bankrupt. I don't know. I don't think their publisher is doing much with it. Like, I don't think they are. But first up, let's talk about the permadeath server. This is going to be a League server that will last for only 90 days. And the idea is to see how far you can live and get rewards back for your other server. People tend to hate the word permadeath. And yet, in this game, there's already a very, very, very active like Iron Man Challenge permadeath community who that's what they do just for fun.
Well, it's D&D based and D&D inspired, and in Dungeons and Dragons, short of a resurrect spell, when you die as a character, you lose your character in tabletop D&D. So I see why there's a fan base in the MMO that wants to recreate that and recapture that. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I'd make it half a level.
You're the run in first to the wolves kind of guy.
Run in first and you're done. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
If I can base my DDO playstyle over how well I did in my last game of Apex Legends, I barely got off the flight. I swear I was shot in midair. It was crazy.
He's actually splatted. Somehow he was the first character in record to actually splat and hit the ground and die.
Yeah. Like normally, like when you go to land, like they put their feet out and kind of like, no, my guy just went plunk, and that's
Face
it.
first.
Face
Just like
first.
Superman into the ground.
Yep. It sucked. So that's actually pretty neat. I actually like that they do this with games where they try to do different rule sets and it rewards you on your main character.
The 90 days thing kind of reminds me of Diablo 2 in its latter season. So it's online version of it. You would compete with all the players in that latter season. At the end of it, whoever the 12th highest level, whatever, won, and then they'd re-roll the servers. So it kind of reminds me of that in that regard, in those 90-day sessions. Who can make the best character in 90 days? It's a race, and then restart the servers. Makes a longevity to it. A replayability to it.
Right.
That adds again, one of the reasons I'm starting to get interested in Crowfall was that restart the servers after a while.
Yeah, I can see the value in that.
And I'm the only one who's like, I hate that as a concept. I like the world to continue on. So knowing the world is always dies, it makes me feel like it's a lobby game. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, in the death always wins, so why not work with it?
All right, the last bit of news. I'm going to talk. Well, I'm not going to talk. Stormlord is. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to talk. Awesome. Maybe. So No Man's Sky, something that I've been playing on and off with for a year or so with my son. And you can get one or two people in, and it's cool and everything. But they're on August 14th. They're coming out with a multiplayer update with VR and a couple other things into it too. So it's a huge update. Better start it early. But I'm looking forward to trying that out to see how that works. Itself is good. To me, it's a decent survival game. It's got a good base building. It's got the ability to change planets and move, all that sort of stuff. Moving it up to the MMO space to me is exciting. They wanted to do that in the beginning, but obviously failed. But I want to see how they did it. I'm excited to see how they're doing. The trailer looks really good. Trailer looks amazing. It's a matter of now, can they pull it off? Can they get everybody back they wanted to get a year ago?
Yes.
That's going to be to see if they can pull it off.
Have they damaged their brand too much?
Yeah, good question.
Or if they're patient and they're persistent and they continue to roll out quality updates, they could pull it off. But again, have to be quality updates, and so far they seem to be. And patient to keep hammering it to convince people.
So far, the updates have been good. I haven't played it all, but every 3 months or so, I go back and see where I'm at, see what's new, see what I can do. But now adding this factor to it, I think would be very helpful to be able to say, you know what? I want a group of people to play. We want to build something together. We want to do something together. We want to take on somebody together. You don't have to limit it to 4 or 5 people. You can have, an array of people to do it. So I'm excited. Let's see how that works.
I see Hypercore Ripper in chat. He's really excited about it. Says No Man's Sky update looks amazing. VR in particular. Now, what's going on with the VR?
Man, it's really cool, but I get a stomachache when I do it.
I'm just gonna say, as somebody who has made content in VR, their big issue is motion sickness.
I've played Skyrim and Doom in VR, right? And I've enjoyed both. Skyrim I can play for about a half an hour, and then my stomach just, something's not quite right. Doom, because I use the teleport feature, because it just sort of works with Doom, it's much better. I can move around with that. I don't try to walk. I don't try to have this side vision that just doesn't work. Something's wrong with it when you look at it. I think eventually they'll fix it, but they got to figure out what's wrong before they fix it. They know something's off. Your peripheral vision should work one way. Your brain's going, this is just not right. Something's wrong here.
In VR, your vision moves and your body's fine because that's what's supposed to happen. But it's the whole quote unquote walking in VR when your body's not moving that just messes you up.
Yeah.
Why that teleport feature
do a
works so
lot
good.
more than we know, right?
Yeah.
They all work together, and in VR, it's really cool. But unless you get the whole, player one, treadmill thing going on, it's not going to happen.
As they get on a treadmill.
There you go. The on the tread is awesome. It's gonna be great, but yeah, I don't know. I play it on and off, like I said, but not a ton. I am looking forward to the Iron Man VR though. I want to try that one out.
Mindless gamer tried Gran Turismo VR, vomited.
Especially, I tried to do Subnautica VR, and the game wasn't initially designed for it. It was slapped on after the fact. And yeah, that's not a good time. You do not feel good playing that game.
Wow. Okay.
Ow. But no, I'm looking forward to trying that.
Cool. All right, guys, that is our news for this week. Thank you so much. And be sure to join us next week as we celebrate our special 100th episode of From the Ashes. Indeed. And also, we do have a special guest, Steven Sharif, CEO of...
You gave it up.
No, it's okay, because the people who listen to this there will be coming on the show as well. So
giving away the store.
We need to get like Jeff Bacon.
Yeah, we need to get.
I want to get some like. I love talking to Steven, but I also want to like give our listeners other people to listen to as well, if possible.
He's trying. Look, he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. He's working on it. He's got some stuff.
He's been
doing a little
working
type
on
of typing,
it.
talking to Margaret, being like, "Hey, Margaret, can we get some bacon on here? Want to bakeify my podcast? Side of bacon. Jeff with a side of bacon. Let's go."
Wow, that just went. I don't even know where that went. Anyway,
you don't want Jeff with a side of bacon? Come on. Sounds tasty. Jeff Bacon sandwich.
Whoop, we went too far.
Too far. Oh, Hypercore Ripper. Wow, Crowjack's beard. Shut up, Hypercore Ripper. Let's end the podcast.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Check out my amazing co-host. We got Stormzord, Digital Piper Studios. Check out all of his work over there. And, of course, Mr. Crowjack. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all those places. Check out all of his work as well. And you can follow everything else that we do here at Dungeon Crawler Network over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. Find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You can check out our Patreon program, patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. If you want to help support the show, you can also do that by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast. So we say real words. Sometimes they matter. I do want to stress 5-star reviews help so much, especially on a new show like this. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Dungeon Crawlers, and we'll see you next time. See you later, everybody.